All right, everybody. Hi, it's Frank Pleasants. I have a cool interview today with Mark Ramey. He's one of our clients in Orlando, and we're going to talk about how he's getting all of his business. He did a little over 600,000 in gross commission income last year, and he's been a viral client for quite some time and does a wonderful job in the program. And if you're thinking about hiring us to help you get more business from your database to execute the video marketing plan that we have on the homepage of our website, or you're a client of ours and looking to get better results, there's none better than interviewing one of our current clients who's getting good results. So Mark, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Frank.
If you guys have any referrals of anyone moving to Orlando, Mark will do a great job of taking care of them. So to thank Mark for his time today and giving away all this great information, if you know anyone moving to Orlando or anyone selling in Orlando, reach out to Mark Ramey, right, Mark?
Yep, it would be a privilege to serve.
Cool, man. So you have about 4,175 in my notes, people in your email list. These are the people inside your email marketing account that you have here at Viral Marketing, and you're sending them out helpful material. How did you get to that list of 4,175 active contacts in your Emma account? Tell us.
Well, 1,200 of them or so, roughly, are past clients. And then the rest, so what does that leave? About
So you have
30
1,200 past clients. How many years you've been selling real estate?
since 2020.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry,
Well,
since
no,
2002. 2002.
2002. Got it. Almost 20 years.
Yeah. So 1,200 of those are past clients. And then about a year ago, when COVID first kind of broke loose and got wacky, you started providing a lot of information. And one of the things that I gleaned, and you allowed some of your classes that you were, that were really, well, they had a pretty high price tag on them. You were allowing us to have access to
Made
that
them free. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the
And
Monday classrooms, by the way. If you guys want to go to getviral.com and click classroom, every Monday I teach a free marketing class for clients and non-clients, and you're welcome to attend. And you were on those, right?
yes. And not only did you do that, you've aligned me with a client specialist that, every week I have a call with this person. And it's a level of accountability where, there were some weeks where I would show up, and if I wasn't doing something that I said I was going to do the next week, well, that's accountability. And it pushed me to do more. And I have to do a shout out to Elizabeth because
Yeah.
they were amazing. And one of the classes you taught us to go into our phone and into Google and then also into LinkedIn. And you taught us to harvest everything that's in there and put it into one database. And then you taught us to take that information and get it to a virtual assistant. So it was not a very expensive process to get them to pare it down and to take out the duplicates. And then anybody that didn't have an email or didn't have a phone number, they were to go to two different reference points. I believe one was Kohl's. I don't remember what the other one was. And then fill in the blanks. And I would say within the last year, that list has grown from maybe about 2,000, and then it jumped to the 4,200. And in my phone, surprisingly, Frank, I had like 7,000 people. In fact,
Wow.
yeah, it just, and I'm imagining because part of it is as I do transactions or as I communicate with agents, we don't get caller ID on our cell phone. So I want to know who's calling me. And so as I do a transaction or as I work with a client or even just a lead, I real quickly put them in my phone with a quick note as to what they are. So we harvested a lot. And that was pretty cool. It caused that list to jump.
So Mark attended one of the classes that I teach here at Viral, and you can check that out. Getviral.com and click classroom. And the very first module, I go really deep on understanding, let's grab all the people out of your cell phone. That was a big one for you, Mark.
Yeah.
Let's grab all the people out of your Gmail, your Outlook, your CRMs, your decent buyer leads. maybe any nurtures you have in your dialer. Let's go in and grab all those people and let's get a reconnect message out to them. If you're a
Yep.
current viral marketing client, maybe we should do that again because it's been a while since you've done it in your case, Mark,
Yeah.
and add those people to your list, right? And what response did you get when we initially reconnected with that?
Well, I got a lot of people that actually I hadn't communicated with in a while. There were leads that I would say we probably got at least 10 people that were going to do something. There were probably at least, I would say, about another 15 to 20 people that said that they already did something.
That's
And
disheartening.
yeah, at least I know I'm on the right list though, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was, what it did is it filtered down the people that actually wanted to hear from me. And it gave me a good solid list of people, because if people unsubscribed when I sent that out, and I invited them to do that in the reconnect, I said, listen, if this is what I'm going to be sending you, I was just very truthful and upfront. My intention is to bring value, and if you find it valuable, then please let me know, or receive the emails and continue to receive the value. And if you don't find it valuable, then you please unsubscribe, because I don't want to get up in your business and waste your time. And it gave us a very clear reference point as to who it would. And so that's 7,000 people in my phone, the 1,200 people that were in Google and in LinkedIn, that pared down then to that 4,175 that now is who we're emailing to a message pretty consistently, at least twice a month.
What are you sending them?
Well, up until COVID, I would come out to, is it Omaha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Oklahoma, Omaha.
Okay. All
They're
right.
close,
I'm
somewhat.
sorry. Okay. I would come out and I would, every year I would shoot a whole year's worth of videos. So I'm going to send them everything from, understanding how to get your home ready for sale. Is now the right time to sell? At Thanksgiving, I would do a gratitude message where there's a practice that I do something. I like to lead. I like to do half business and half. I am a human and I have a heart. And in fact, part of what I send out every month is what's known as Letter of the Heart. So when COVID hit, I got a little afraid of spending those $600 to $700 a mailing per mailing, and I started sending it digitally, and it's been really well received. And Letter of the Heart is just something where I might talk about, I'm a human, I failed, and this is how I came out of it, and this is how you might relate. And it's just a story that creates a touch.
Here's your
Um,
video blog.
yes, exactly. And you can see Letter of the Heart is probably down on the right. And then also most recently, because I've established relationships in my town with probate attorneys, a lot of probate attorneys. I've recently interviewed 4 probate attorneys because last year in November, when my stepmom passed away, um, I realized just how valuable having your estate in order was, because when I went to meet with my 3 brothers, and there were some bumps and some things weren't put together. And then thank God we learned, my mom passed in November. Only in February, we learned that my mom did a DNR, a do not resuscitate order. And if she hadn't, it could have been a very different experience. And so I said, all right, this is really valuable. And how can I get this information out to my database? Because I want them to know about this. I don't want them to make the mistakes that maybe my family made. And so I interviewed 4 attorneys that are probate attorneys locally in town. And they all gave really, really good information. And so then I put that onto my blog. So stuff like that.
How has the blog helped you build relationships with probate attorneys?
Oh, wow. Because when I went to, like, there's the 4 attorneys, I know them well. And when I went to them in the middle of COVID and I said, hey, um, you have helped me. I want to help you. How can I'd like to, I have a database of about 4,200 people. I would like to interview you, and would you be willing to answer some questions around probate that could help these 4,200 people? And through that interview process, would it be okay if we put your name, your phone number, and your contact information for your law office? And I had everyone that I asked was like, yes, yes. And they were just like, they were right on with it. And
Wow.
it, it's brought me, it's reconnected. And now I've got one of those attorneys. There were two other attorneys within their office that I can't direct it to say exactly that was it. And yet at the same time, two other attorneys in her office have sent me opportunities, and I've listed those properties. And then her husband happens to be a regional director for a very large Darden restaurant chain. And he decided that he would start, he was relocating a head chef to Orlando from Pennsylvania, and he asked me to help them find a house. So it spawned some really amazing relationships, and we went deeper in those relationships, all just because I was willing to come from contribution and say, look, I would like to get you out to my database because you are valuable, and are you open to helping? And all four of them said yes. And so that's just the tip of the iceberg. I believe it's just started.
So you started by interviewing 4 attorneys?
Yes.
Got it. So you initially reconnected with about 7,000 contacts in your phone, that a lot of them had emails, that by attending classes I made for free during COVID to help people out, you executed.
Mhm.
Congrats.
Thank you for that. Thank you
And
very
then,
much.
yeah, dude. And then you decided to approach probate was going to be one of your niches. So you went and got the probate leads. May I ask who you get your probate leads from?
um, my husband's aunt Mita goes to the goes to
Oh,
the
that's the best
courthouse
way. Yeah.
and gets them.
Old school, man.
Yeah,
So you're literally going down there and getting them that way, huh?
I'm not. Someone
Oh,
is
you're
going.
someone
Yeah,
is going to,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, and getting them, and yeah,
Another option, everybody, is go check out alltheleads.com.
yes.
It won't probably be as good as what Mark is getting directly going down there, but it's good enough. And then when you get those leads, it'll also have the contact information of the attorney dealing with the probate in the estate. Sound good? Mark, so you work your database of past clients, which I believe has been 40 something percent of your business after 20 years in the business. I think everyone understands that. But the way you bring people into your database, your haven't met, so to speak, the way you work haven't met is you focus on probates
Mhm.
by building relationships with attorneys by interviewing them for your blog. Awesome. You also mentioned that another way that you bring in people to your database and you work your haven't mets is through expired listings. I would assume not as many as before. Maybe I'm wrong, but how has the video blog and what you're doing with us helped you with expireds?
Well, what I'm doing is, I think we have to come from a digital platform. It's just how it is. And what I'm aware of is, I you can make a connection, and when you're working with expireds, there's a zillion other agents that are working with expireds. So I have to have something that I can tangibly get into people's phone quickly before 10 or 15 other agents cause them to either go bitter and not want to talk to anybody, or um, understandably bitter. I understand why they would be, um, or for that matter, then they've just got to see something that separates me. And so it's me being able to get a digital platform in front of them, including, like, I have a service that aggregates all my reviews, and that's connected to my blog and to my website as well. So instead of, like, a year and a half ago, I had 58 reviews, and then I made a conscious effort to seek reviews with every client and past clients, and now we're up to about 150 reviews, and they're aggregated in one place. Well, now I can send one link out that, when I speak to an expired, I say, up until this point, I've only been a voice on the phone. Would it be okay if I sent you a link so that you can get a flavor of how what my clients are saying about us and the service that we're providing?
I
And
love that. Up until this point, I've only been a voice on the phone. May I send you more information about me, right?
I owe you information.
Yeah. I owe you more information about me. And then your blog comes in. It's good stuff, Mark. I'm taking notes.
I'm taking notes.
So you're following the viral marketing plan pretty well with your blog. That for those of you watching, you can go to the homepage of our website, get viral, and download the official video marketing plan on the homepage. That's bringing you referrals and repeat business by sending things out.
Mhm.
In addition to that, you're adding people to your database through probates by interviewing attorneys to establish the relationship and adding value through cross promotion. And this blog is helping you win the attention of the expired listing when they're being assaulted by all angles by every realtor, right? You also mentioned in the pre-interview that the third way that you get new business by working your habit meds beyond probates and expireds is agent referrals.
Mm-hmm.
You've built a name up for yourself for quite some time in the agent community of people moving to Orlando, or maybe even people selling in Orlando that they know of, then call you. Tell us how the video marketing or what you're doing with us has helped maybe with agent referrals.
Well, what's interesting is when I did that data dump from my phone and there were 7,000 people in there, a significant number of those were agents. So what I'm observing, Frank, is as I get the call report from Carl, after we send out the video, I'm seeing a lot of agents are clicking on my emails, which is evidence that they're aware that I'm there.
And they're all over the country.
All over the country, because as I would go to events or as I would, go to like classes and stuff like that or conventions, I'm throwing people into my phone. And so that huge data dump pulled those people into that.
Nice. So you left all the agents in there. Some people are like, I would take all the agents off. You're like, no, don't do that. No, huh?
No. Agents are clients.
Who taught you that?
Um, I think I learned it. I think I learned it one day by just realizing uh, the hard way that, if I treat an agent poorly, there's no way that that relationship going forward, like I'm going to have to make an offer on their listing at some point, or vice versa. And this is a small town. I think I learned it the hard way, Frank, by just being a jerk. And then I got, and then I realized, jerk begets jerk. and and then in our system, I'm a Keller Williams agent. Part of the value in our system is, growing our tree. So the way I look at it is an agent, to me, if I can continue to bring value to them, even if it's picking up the phone when they have a question about my listing, when there's 30 offers on it, that could result in an opportunity for us to have a deeper relationship someday in business.
How many transactions is 678,000 GCI in Orlando?
Last year was 80.
80 homes. And you're the only agent on your team, right? It's just you.
No, I have a buyer's agent.
Okay, buyer's agent.
Yep.
That's helpful driving around.
Yes.
Do you have an assistant?
I have a listing coordinator and a closing coordinator. And for me to hit my goal this year, I do have to recruit another agent.
You have a huge value proposition. Just a simple email. We should start reaching out to all the licensed agents doing a certain number of production in Orlando with a simple email saying it's Mark Ramey. I've been selling real estate for 20 years. I have a database of 4,175 people who want to hear from me, and they're excited to hear from me, that I stay in touch with. My system tells me when they're interested in buying or selling a home. Clicking the links, right? There's also other services you can sign up for, like likely.ai, where you export our database, the Emma account, and it will trigger who maybe is in market to buy or sell a home.
Okay.
You can also partner with a mortgage professional and send them your database. And there's a service called Sales Boomerang.
Uh-huh.
I'll show it to you really quick. So find a mortgage professional that pays for a service called Sales Boomerang, and they have access to FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act data. They upload your database here, and it
Uh-huh.
runs the credit of everyone in your database to monitor when they're applying for mortgages.
Okay.
And your lender will be able to tell you who's probably in market for a mortgage or a refi.
Okay.
So here's the deal. You have this asset, the 4,175 contacts, don't you, Mark?
Yes.
You know who's clicking open the links, don't you?
Yes.
You also probably have a lot of past clients that if they called saying, I'm calling on behalf of Mark Ramey, they'll give you the time of day,
Yes.
right? You can also take that list and upload it to likely.ai, which I'm working on a partnership with possibly, to identify maybe through behavior data, like who else is likely to sell in there to call. You can also send that database over to a mortgage professional that is subscribed to a service like Sales Boomerang, so they can figure out who in that database might be applying for credit for a mortgage. That's nice to know, huh?
Yep.
They have access to that data. You can't get it. All right.
Okay.
And guess who's going to call them? Your agent.
Yep.
The agent that you hired is going to call on behalf of you using your name, and they don't have to make any cold calls, do they?
No.
So you're looking for an agent that doesn't, and the benefit of working with you is they don't have to spend any money. They don't have to make any cold calls. They get daily coaching and guidance from you, and they get access to call your database of 20 years with triggers or alerts of probably who in that database is a little more likely for a conversation, just randomly slogging through it for a split.
Yep.
How does that sound?
That's awesome.
I bet if you got that message out to all the licensees in Orlando who are struggling, because the amount of cold calls you have to make now to actually find a deal, because there's less, is a lot, like thousands of cold calls.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
money you have to spend on cold marketing is getting more and more expensive to find a lead. A lot of those agents are looking for opportunity and partnering with a guy like you to work that list like we talked about. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Mhm.
I knew this was going to be good. Thanks.
So can I give you a little tip to find that
Yeah,
agent?
of course. Absolutely. Please do.
Call your title company
Okay.
and say, can you get me a list of all the agents in Orlando that have done at least, I don't know, 2 deals and maybe as much as 20?
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.
If they can't get it for you, go to your broker,
Yeah.
ask them if they have a service like broker metrics
Broker metrics. Yeah.
or trend graphics
Okay.
or showing time,
Okay.
and maybe they can pull the list for you.
Okay.
So now you have a list of all the agents actually doing some business in Orlando. And then just commit to maybe sending out 25 emails a day. Time block it. I don't know what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in your email account. You know, subject line would be maybe, Orlando leads for you, something like that.
Right.
Hey, so-and-so, I wanted to reach out to you because I understand you're doing some business here in Orlando. I've been selling real estate in Orlando for 20 some years, and I have a database of 4,175 people that are clicking links and doing things to suggest they might be wanting to buy or sell a home. I'm fortunate at this point in my career, I don't have to make any more cold calls really in mass, right? Or spend a lot of money on advertising because I built such a great list. I also know that cold calling is getting more intense, and spending money on marketing to get leads is really, really hard now to make it profitable because there's so few homes for sale. Would you have any interest in working together? I really need you to call and reach out to all these people that are holding up a flag that they might be interested in buying or selling a home that just me, myself, and I don't have enough time to get to. Would you be opening to a conversation? Send out 25 of those a day. I think you'll solve your recruiting problem, don't you think?
Yeah.
There you go, man. How's that?
That's nifty.
There you go.
This is recorded, right?
It is recorded. It's actually live on Facebook. So you can
Okay.
go back to the viral marketing page and watch your own interview. How's that sound?
Okay. Hi, Mom. I'm just kidding.
So that's it, man. You don't have to spend much more time. I want to go about 30 minutes.
Cool.
Here's a summary. You're a productive agent. You need a way to get business. I think a key takeaway here is you re-exported all your databases and took that seriously, and you found a whole bunch of people in your cell phone that didn't know existed.
Yeah.
There were past clients and a lot of agents. We reconnected with them, and those agents are getting the video marketing plan that you hired us to execute, but you get on the homepage of the website to sending you referrals. In addition to that, you started interviewing agents, attorneys in probate that you knew about 4 of them, which established a relationship and earned some for your attorney referral business. Also, when you're working expireds, you let them know that they can go check you out on your video blog, or also all of your reviews from all places syndicate into one area where they can see them all about you, which is helpful, right? And I think using your video blog and using the fact that you have a healthy database all in one spot, you can recruit to that. And I think somebody would love to be able to come on in and work that database as opposed to maybe cold calling or spending money on cold marketing. And maybe they don't really have a database because they're newer in the business. They don't have 20 years like you do. That's an asset you can leverage for your recruiting.
Okay. So can I do a be honest?
Sure.
Okay. I don't think that I'm doing as much as I can with the list that you provide me. If you were to say one thing that I should be doing, or a script or an idea that I should be doing, when I get that list, who should I be focusing on and what should I be saying?
You mean the people that are opening and clicking the links?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the best thing you can start doing is holding seller and buyer workshops.
Okay.
Seminars. This is free. So you need an excuse to call that doesn't make you a pest.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? And the people in your database are, all different types of relationships. I think it'd be a good idea for you to host from time to time a first-time homebuyer seminar, which will be online as like a webinar that maybe somebody goes to Eventbrite to register for.
Okay.
And then once they register, you just invite them onto a Zoom link, like I invited you here in a group. Okay. The other seminar you can offer is what to do if you're in forbearance. That's a big one. If you're in forbearance and the juice is running, like it's building up, what do you do?
Yeah.
Think about the pain points. If you're trading up homes, how do you buy before you sell? How do you sell your home without being homeless? These are all pain points, right?
Yep.
The workshops like this, the one working in California is leaving California, how to leave California. Because they're running in California for sellers. Right? But think about what's going on and title a workshop on Eventbrite. It's free, won't cost you any money. Write some copy about it.
Okay.
And now when you reach out and you call the people in your database, call because you're inviting them to that seminar and ask them if they're interested in attending it, and you like to offer them a free ticket.
Got it.
You can offer your attorneys to speak at it too with you.
Or a
You can
lender.
offer other businesses. Yep, your lender. You can also use viral marketing. If you hired us to send an email to your list to encourage registrations, which are great leads, aren't they?
Yeah.
Workshops.
Okay, cool.
It's free. Position you as an expert. You need a reason to call. I think that would be the next step to leverage your list, is to hold those and to work your database to register for it.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great. And I imagine if I need to fill in some blanks, Elizabeth would be able to help me with that. She'll direct me to
100%. And I think I actually have a lesson coming up in the classroom.
Oh, awesome.
So right now we're talking about, on the classroom, you really paid attention to these modules.
Yep.
We're just talking about some seller lead generation stuff that we don't do for you at Viral. This is just generally interesting for the clients. But I think I have May 24th, pay attention.
Okay.
How to pack homeowners into seller workshops. And the recording from last time is also recorded. If you log in here, you have a client login. If you go to that, you can watch the replay on how to hold seller workshops, and our staff will help them put together for you.
Okay.
The key with them is it gives you a good excuse to call where you're not a pest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or who else do you know? Is there someone that you know that could
Correct.
benefit from this? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's coming from contributions.
So, Mark, thanks for your time today. I just want to go about 30 minutes and we're all done. Thanks for sharing such great information.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate everything you do.